Amruteshwariyai Namah. During these auspicious days of Navaratri this year, let's try to understand the significance of the Navadurgas, the 9 forms of the Divine Mother, and try to decipher the spiritual principle behind these forms. There could be many ways of interpreting these 9 forms, of course, but let us try to take a look at them from the perspective of our own personal growth, be it our spiritual growth or our venturing into a meaningful endeavor, something purposeful that we are trying to achieve sincerely in our life. So on this 3rd day of Navaratri, let's take a look at the 3rd of the 9 forms of the Divine Mother, the 3rd form being Devi Chandraghanta.
पिण्डज प्रवरारूढा चण्डकोपास्त्रकैर्युता प्रसादं तनुते मह्यं चन्द्रघण्टेति विश्रुता चन्द्रघण्टेति विश्रुता.
We previously discussed the first 2 names. The first name being Shailaputri, representing the right start one gives to an endeavor one ventures into. And the second name, Brahmacharini, representing the attitude to strive, dedicate, and to be sincere about our goal and the efforts that we put in to achieve it. And today, we look at the 3rd name being Chandraghanta. Chandra translates to the moon, referring to the moon crescent, and Ghanta, bell. The moon crescent in the shape of a bell that the Divine Mother adorns on her forehead. After going through the austere penance, Lord Shiva finally agrees to marry Goddess Parvati. He comes to the kingdom of the king of Himalayas to seek the hand of Mother Parvati. He is led in a procession by his attendants, who are the Shiva Ganas, who aren't very particular about the social norms. They are more focused mainly on their spiritual penance. So their appearance, their conduct, their behavior may not seem very normal, may seem out of place for a so-called normal person. The procession scared all the people around in the kingdom, including Parvati Devi's parents. It is believed that Parvati Devi then manifests herself as Chandraghanta, symbolizing the moon crescent that Lord Shiva wears on his forehead, manifesting the same on her forehead too, conveying to her folks that they needn't be scared or be intimidated or be doubtful about this alliance, that she is already one with Lord Shiva. This is just a formality that is happening. This alliance is ought to happen. So the spiritual principle behind, as we sincerely try to set our focus on our goal and put in our sincere efforts to achieve that goal, at some point of time, initially, it may seem like we are near the goal or we are almost about to achieve the goal. or we have almost achieved that goal. But let us not be mistaken by that. It would most probably be a delusion to think so. It probably will be the beginning of the hurdles and challenges that we may have to face thereafter. What keeps us going strong will be our identification with the goal and the goal alone, the attitude that we tread on the path with. The weapons in the form of Chandraghanta, they represent the fighting spirit and the determination one needs to have so as to overcome all these hurdles which are bound to come and stop us from progressing. So what do we learn from Devi Chandraghanta? She reminds us not to become complacent of already achieving our goal, but to be prepared with the right attitude to overcome the hurdles that invariably are bound to come our way, and be identified with the goal alone and move forward. Om Amriteshwarye Namaha.